Welcome back to Mic'd Up and Misinformed with your hosts Lunch Money and Mad Dog. This week we're going to break down and give our predictions for the Holloway versus Oliveira 2. It's going to be this Saturday, March 7th, UFC 326. Let's get it, bro.
Now it's crazy because when I saw this is the second time they fought, I was like, shit, I don't even remember the first time. But it was like 10 years ago, right? When these guys fought the first time. I mean,
Yeah,
I
and
looked at
I also,
Oliveira was so young.
bro, I'm pretty sure that was at featherweight too. So, now that they're a little bit older and can't cut as
Yeah.
much weight, they're fighting in a different weight class, which both have been accustomed to and been fighting in for quite some time now.
Yeah. I didn't realize they ever fought in the first place. But I mean, they've both been around for, a decade. And, Oliveira looks so freaking young in that fight.
Yeah, yeah, dude. It is crazy. They've been fighting for a long time, bro. Like these are two arguably, UFC Hall of Famers. You got the BMF versus the former champion who took out
Right.
Gaethje, Poirier. Um,
Well, I
I
feel
think
like Holloway
beat
was kind
Shane.
of in a slump for a while. And this fool he's been killing everybody lately, dude.
Who?
Holloway.
Oh, dude, Holloway's rolling right now. I couldn't believe, he how convincingly. I don't want to say it was easy, but I mean, he for sure beat Dustin handily before he
Yeah.
retired.
He definitely, exactly. Yeah, I think Gaethje probably had the win, but once they freaking stood in the center, dude, that was it, man. He clipped him and he was out cold.
Yeah. All right, bro. So, man, there's some banger fights now. I'm looking through some. I saw the main event we were just talking about before this, and I was saying I didn't see the rest of the card, but it's looking pretty good, man. I'm excited for it.
This is a much better card than last week for sure. Last week was kind of crazy all over the place.
Yeah, and man, I had a tough card last week. I felt really confident Brandon Moreno is gonna win that, and man, he got dog walked by Kavanaugh, and then I think I might have put Zil Huber on a ticket. I can't even think because my ticket's lost, but Zil Huber got dog walked by Bobby Green. So,
Yeah.
um, the good thing about having, bad picks is the next week, it just means we're due. At least
Ready to
me,
rebound.
because I did not have good
Ready
picks
to
last week.
rebound. I did okay on my personal picks last week, and I think I won the parlay we put out because I took, you know, just kind of more favorites, and so I think we broke even because I was like just over even money, and so I don't we didn't really lose last week for the plays we put out on the podcast. So
Well, thank God you carried us, bro. That was all even.
as long as we can stay even, that's a win in my book, dude.
All right. Well, this week I'm coming through for the boys, man. I'm making us millions. Let's get it.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So some of these fights earlier, there's a couple of guys I'm not very familiar with, but we're gonna go ahead and also, you guys make fun of me all you want, but if you do, I want to hear y'all pronounce these names without looking them up pre-hand, dude, because some of these guys got some crazy pronunciations in their names.
Just go and roast us.
So here we go. First fight of the night, we have Luke Fernandez, who's 6-0 versus Rodolfo Bellato. I've seen Rodolfo fight quite a bit. He's been fighting MMA for a long time, and then Luke Fernandez. I don't know much about him, but I know he's a newer MMA fighter.
He's definitely going to be an up and comer. I think he's got great boxing skills and he can control the ring fairly well. Um, Bellato, dude, I don't know, man. I feel it's weird because I feel like he cancels fights more than he actually fights. Like he's got so many canceled fights or fights that get delayed and pushed out for whatever reason, whether it's the other guy or him. I just feel like he's got like this weird karma surrounding him. So I my best pick for this fight is the fight not to go the distance. Let me pull up the odds. I don't even know what the odds are,
Yeah, I'm
honestly.
curious what the odds are on that. I'm
But
taking Luke Fernandez.
yeah,
Bellato's kind of like a gatekeeper for the newbies, and I don't with me. I don't think he's a bad fighter, but when you see him in the ring, like physically, he looks like he'd be an absolute unit, like a monster in
yeah,
there. But
yep.
he's not as good as he looks, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And I just think there's some bad juju around him or something. It's like he doesn't win all the time. He again, a lot of his freaking fights get canceled, which is weird. All right, so Fernandez is minus 230, and then Bellato is plus 190. So it's basically over under 1.5. I would say if you can go get it for just not to make the finish or take it under 2 rounds, I think that's a good bet. The over under 1.5 is always a little tricky because sometimes that first round they're kind of just feeling each other out. But I mean, both of these guys get highlight knockouts. Fernandez has got 5 KOs for his 6 losses. So, I mean, he's out there looking for the kill.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Fernandez being an undefeated fighter and almost all 6 of those fights being knockouts, momentum's a serious thing in MMA. So I feel pretty comfortable. I think Luke Fernandez might be leg one of a parlay or two that I do here.
I love it.
Next up, we have Gaston Bolanos versus um, Zhizhong Li or Jiang Yang Li. Sorry if I can't pronounce that right.
No,
I'm
it's
not very
perfect.
familiar with
That's
either one of
exactly
these
what I would
fighters. I
say.
do not have a pick here.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with either of these guys, too. I don't have a pick here either. I think Gaston stands up a little bit more from kind of what I saw. So I don't know. And both of them, I think Lee has lost his last 2, and I think Stone is 2-2 out of his last 4. So I mean, neither of these guys are really like you just said. Neither of them really have the momentum. Nothing's necessarily going crazy, but the odds are insane. So Zhang Li is at minus 320, and Gaston's at plus 260.
Well, for Gaston, not being a recognizable fighter, him being 8-5, it sounds like whoever, and if Lee's coming off a couple losses, it sounds like whoever loses this fight is going to be, cut from the UFC. That's the kind
Yeah,
of
exactly.
hidden in
This
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 match.
is a contract fight to see who stays. I agree with that, dude.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. We have 14-1 Rafael Tobias versus Dr. Nergaze. Oh, I hate not being pronounce these guys right. What are you
I
thinking
don't
here?
think it's bad, dude. I think that's good too. So I think Rafael, he loves the leg kick, and then he likes to shoot or throw in combos after the leg kicks. So I think look for him to come in to beat up the leg and then go for the takedown and then look for a submission. I think that's really his game plan every time he gets into the ring. So I'm loving Rafael Tobias here for sure, dude. I just don't know that much about the other guy either, but he's got a solid game plan. He always comes in really tough. He comes in, healthy and fit and ready to go.
It looks like both guys are pretty talented and really good up and comers. I mean, Tobias is 14-1 in his professional MMA career, and Nergoze is 10-2. So it seems like both guys have some experience coming into the UFC to try to make a little run up the rankings here. Well, not in the top 15, but like
Yeah.
just amongst the ranks in general.
Yep. Just keep moving up the ranks. Yeah.
They're here to make some noise. And what really intrigues me about watching some of these like newer UFC fighters or guys just getting into the UFC is those fights. All UFC fights are entertaining, but especially some of these newbies coming in because number one, they want to make a statement, and two, since the finishing bonuses got announced this year, a lot of these guys aren't making big time money like that. So these
Yeah.
bonuses really could change their lives in a way. And whether it's like a down payment for a house or a car or pay off some debt, whatever, it's the
Yep.
money is really meaningful to these up and comers. So they might be pushing a little bit harder and being more aggressive towards getting a finish in these fights.
Yeah, I agree, dude. I mean, to get a big pay, is it 50 grand now? What is the bonus?
It's 25K a finish. And
All right,
then fight of the
25K.
night and performance of the night, I want to say that's 100 G's now. I
Yeah,
want to
so
say I'm not 100% certain on that.
that's more than a year's salary for some people, dude. And at 25K, I mean that could be someone's year's salary. So that's solid. And then be able just to focus on training more and not have to have the stress of work and everything else, dude, makes a difference going into the future. But I like
100%.
Tobias here. I like Tobias here.
That's who you're rolling with?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm trying to get the UFC schedule back up. My
Buffering.
tablets.
Buffering.
Yeah, it's driving me nuts, man. Technical difficulties are, oh my gosh, probably the most frustrating thing ever. But okay, well, we're back. Okay, so back to the prelims. Well, now we're up to Hopefully we're on the same fight here. We have Sue Madarji versus.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, sorry, I just had it up.
Versus Jesus Aguilar.
Who do you like in this one? I'm trying to get it up, but you go ahead and take the first take
You're
here.
good, dude. I don't really know much about either of these guys. I would say Sue has fought better caliber people in general, but he's only I think he's only won 2 of his last 5, and I think has won 4 of his last 5. Um, and Jesus is the underdog, so if I think that it's still fairly even, I'm going to take the value on the underdog. So I like Jesus on this one overall at plus 210. Sue's at minus 250.
Sumadarje is a super entertaining fighter, bro. He has a pretty solid resume in terms of the competition he's fought against, and super entertaining. His ground game's decent. His striking's pretty decent. I feel like the only thing that lacks with him is his IQ in fights. You know, he's a very talented guy, but sometimes he just gets into these wars and dogfights, and I feel like he kind of like loses. He kind of beats himself in the fight sometimes
Yeah.
more so than his opponent beats him with the low fight IQ. With I don't feel comfortable ever taking him that big of a favorite, so it kind of makes me think the value lies on the underdog in this one, but it's hard to fade Medarje because he has fought better competition.
He definitely has fought better caliber people, yeah.
So that's kind of the hard thing with that fight. I'll probably stay away personally, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's for me. I feel like that's kind of a dog or pass type of fight.
Yep, that's exactly how I feel, dude. So if I was gonna do anything, I would take the dog.
All right. You want to go ahead and announce the next one? I'm sorry, bro. I'm trying to get it
You're
up
good,
here.
you're good. So the next one is Cody Durden versus I don't even know, bro. Naima Jargle, Tuma de Barrel.
All right, let's see. Okay,
this
there,
this
boom,
one
there we
was
go. Cody
this one was
Durden. Oh my, isn't that the hardest name to pronounce, bro?
that's the hardest name to
All
pronounce,
right,
bro.
I'm gonna
I've
try
been,
this out. Ready? Niam Jagal to Mendem Burrell.
I, I think you nailed it, bro. That's pretty good, dude. I
Niam
think
Jagal.
you nailed it, dude. That's exactly good.
I
I love it.
can't wait to see Bruce Buffer announce this name.
Hey, he's gonna be looking at his sheet, dude, when he pronounces this one. He's got his stuff with all the syllables highlighted and
He's gonna be
stuff.
squinting like, "What the heck
I'm
is
telling you,
this?"
bro. That's a crazy name. Now, I don't know, dude. Cody Durden, I feel like had a chance to go for a run. Now I feel like he's a low-level gatekeeper, and he's just having a really hard time getting any momentum in his favor. I mean, the dude does have some skill, but I just don't think he has what it takes to be in the UFC at any real level. And he's only won 1 of his 5 fights, and he's the Naima Jargle has got 6 submissions out of his 9 wins. So I mean, definitely look for more grappling and him going for the submission overall. So I love Naima Jargle here, and the odds are really good too. Actually, Naima Jargle is at minus 145. Cody Dern at plus 125.
This is interesting to me, bro, because Cody Durden is very his strengths is the wrestling.
His
He
strengths
he's
are the
he's an
wrestling.
aggressive wrestler. He's not going to knock you out. He's not going to beat you on the
Yep.
feet. And with this guy being a high level jiu-jitsu player
Yeah.
and wanting to grapple, that'll be interesting to see because Durden, his path to, do I think he's going to win? Heck no. But his
Yeah.
path to victory would be um, Niam Jagal trying to pull submissions off from maybe the bottom and Cody Durden winning on control time. So if Durden wins, it's because the other guy cannot pull off the submission and he ends up being stuck on the bottom and Durden gets control time for a win. So if you're going to take Durden, you got to take him by decision here. And if you're taking the other guy, I think he has more paths to victory. He is 9-1. He's got all the momentum. You're so right about Durden. He's on his way out. He's a UFC
Yeah.
veteran. He's got lots of experience in fights, but every UFC fighter, you know, when they decline fast. And he's
Yeah.
definitely on his way out of the UFC, even though he's had a long career,
Yeah.
especially opposed to other UFC fighters. He's been in the UFC for quite some time. I like Niam Jagal to pull off a submission here. If not, I think he gets the decision. If you could take some sort of bet or prop where you're taking Niam Jagal by submission slash or decision, I think that's the play here for sure.
Yeah, I love that even better, dude. Honestly, yeah,
Because
like
you
you
might
just
get
said.
that minus 145, maybe to a plus 100. You know, that might take off some points and give you a little better value.
Yeah, yeah. I think Cody will wrestle himself into a submission, basically. Like you said, I think he'll probably get the first takedown, and then once he's down there, I don't think he's gonna have the ability to control him on the ground. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I agree, bro. I feel really comfortable taking the other guy, dude. I love the momentum, and you know he's a young, hungry fighter, 9-1. The
Yep.
dirt, and when he won that one of his last 5 fights, that fight he won was a huge underdog win. I mean, he was not. I personally thought he got lucky that night. He convincingly won, but I just felt like the other guy had an off night.
Yeah, yeah. Again, you just never know, especially with weight cuts and how training goes for these guys. I mean, there's so many factors that we don't see. You know, like how do these guys look the last 6 months leading up to this card? The last 3 months, the last month. Like if you just came off like a respiratory illness or a cold or something a week before the freaking competition, it's like all your training is shot.
Yeah. All right, so I think we're taking. I'm this is the last time I'm ever gonna say his name, bro. Niam
I think,
Dragal. We're
yeah,
taking him,
yeah,
and we're gonna say that he's definitely gonna win that fight, bro.
yeah. I think that's like a lock to me for this card.
Yeah, I hate using that L word, but dude,
Yeah,
he's a lock. We're rolling with that. That might be the first one of your martingale, bro.
it is actually it is, bro. hundred
I was gonna
percent,
say
dude.
I. It was just a matter of if he was first or second, but I was gonna say I feel like he's definitely gonna be on there.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
All right, next up we have um Ricky Tercios versus Alberto Montez. Montez is 11-1. Ricky Tercios is 13-5. Bro, I'm taking Montez in this matchup. I'm not sure what the odds are, but Tercios, it to me is a he should not be in the UFC. I
Yep.
feel like his potential and where they thought he would be versus where he's really at. He's been slightly disappointing coming into the UFC.
100%, dude. hundred
He
percent.
has exciting fights, but he's just not getting wins, and he's not fighting the best guys either. You know, if he
Yeah.
was fighting real contenders, he'd be getting finished really easy. I feel like he's
Yeah.
more of a PFL type fighter. Alberto Montez, he's a newer fighter, but he's 11-1, and I think he has a higher ceiling than Tercios is. I think Tercios has kind of reached that ceiling already, and I just don't think he's UFC caliber, respectfully.
No, 100%, dude. I couldn't agree more. So this is my second leg of the parlay, dude, because or of the martingale, because I think same thing. Alberto's got 6 subs out of his 11 wins. This guy's, Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, so same thing, dude. I think Ricky came in kind of a flash in the pan, dude, and looked really good, and kind of was like, had some energy and charisma behind him, and then he just went flatline, and he just hasn't been able to again get going in the right direction. So. I wouldn't count Ricky out 100%, but I definitely like Alberto Montez way more in this fight.
Yeah.
Montez is minus 183, Ricky's at plus 158.
Okay. Yeah, I like Alberto a lot. Could Ricky win this fight? Absolutely. He's an aggressive fighter. And to give him credit, he's not in boring fights. His fights are
Yeah,
entertaining, and
yeah.
he could definitely pull off a crazy knockout or a sneaky submission. But the value lies on the other guy, especially it. I would take Alberto up to minus 200 to be honest with you. So anything less than that, I think is a steal.
Yeah, the value's there for sure, dude. Exactly. So exactly, just like you said, I wouldn't count Ricky out, but I think Montez, 10 fights, he's gonna win 8, 9 times.
Yeah, he's gonna win for sure, bro. Next up, we have. Ooh, this is a good one. We have Dante Johnson versus Cody Brundage. Bro, I'm gonna say this every time as long as he's in the UFC till he's out. Cody Brundage is number one ranked in the weirdest UFC fights. He has so many DQs. There's always eye pokes. There's nut
Yeah.
shots. Cody Brundage can never just have a normal fight, bro. Ever.
No, 100%, dude. He only has one win in the last 3 years because, like you said, all the fights
It's
get
probably a
weird.
DQ win too.
It's another thing, dude. He's just got like this weird aura about him where the fights just don't go his way for whatever reason. And again, he is a good fighter. I mean, he's got the ability and the skills to do it, but for whatever reason, it just like to see repeat off, like issues always seems weird. So there's some weird mojo around him, dude.
I think he'd be a lot more successful in the PFL personally, to be 11-8 and kind of like in your prime, I don't think he's UFC caliber fighter.
Yeah, I agree with
Dante
that.
Johnson is a lot more green. Cody has a lot more experience, but Dante's 7-0, and he hasn't experienced a loss yet. He's riding a high right now with momentum. I'm not sure what the odds are, but I feel pretty comfortable taking Dante Johnson here, and I'm assuming the odds reflect that.
Yeah, the odds are crazy. Dante Johnson at minus 800. Cody's at plus
Ooh,
525. So I mean, you got
I
to
was
look for
thinking
numbers.
maybe minus 300, but 800. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't play that, bro. I can't.
So I mean, I think take Dante for a KO. That's probably your best option, honestly. Or you can take it to not go the finish, take it under 2 rounds. But yeah, there's just no value to bet this one straight up. There's no value in the underdog. Dante's too much of a favorite. Again, that's throw it in your parlay and hope you don't get busted, kind of thing, if you wish. But
Yeah, I'm gonna pass. That's a pass for sure on my end because I can't justify those odds, bro.
hey, dude. So there's three.
I
There's
think you'll
three
end up
Cody.
finding a DQ win out of that and messing up everybody's play.
Exactly. So there's three Codys in this fight card, dude. So at least one of the Codys has got to win here. So I'm putting my money on Cody Garbrandt, dude.
Let's get it. Hey, that's the next fight up, bro. That's beautiful. Getting right into it. We have Cody Garbrandt, former champ, UFC vet. He's getting a little older now. He's definitely on the decline. He's had quite a few losses in his last like 5, 6 fights versus Zhao Long. Zhao Long is 27-10 though, so he's also experienced. This is an interesting fight, bro. Like I feel like this is a big step down for Cody. Cody's
Yeah.
been fighting contenders for a very
Yeah.
long time, or guys right out of contention on the way up.
Yeah.
Cody's fought killers, and I feel like for me, this is his make or break fight for retirement. If Cody loses this, I feel like he's got to retire. If he wins, I think he'd be a good gatekeeper for the contenders. He's fast. He's got excellent boxing. I
Yep.
really enjoy watching his fights, but now he's starting to gas out after the second round.
Yeah. That's what I
And
was
his
gonna
he's,
say.
his chin is super soft. If you
That's
touch
yeah.
his chin, Cody's going out. But I'm
Yeah.
taking him in this fight, bro. What's the odds? I need to know.
Yeah, that's I think Cody's gonna use this as his comeback, dude, and stay, kind of like you said, in the, lower ranked fighters, kind of maybe pick one more big push, dude, for the contender. So Cody Gambrandt's at plus 130, so I love the value there. Take him as the underdog.
Yeah, that's my
Lazzaro
favorite underdog play so far,
150.
bro. You're getting a vet. He's fast. This is lower competition. He really might shine here.
I think he might shine here. I think he's going to take advantage of this and show that he's still, he's still got what it takes. Like you said, it's kind of his make or break it fight. I don't necessarily see him retiring after this. I could see him coming back for, like, let's say 3 to 4 more fights, collect a little bit more money beforehand, because he still has a name and he still has a crowd that follows him. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely fought better caliber people. The only thing I would say, my only downfalls, and you took the words out of my mouth, is he gasses out come the third round. So if he can just be a little bit more, defensive and not crazy on the offense the first round, save the tank a little bit, and then start pushing, I think he's definitely got a chance. So loving the underdog on this one.
Yeah, if it does go late in the fight, I could see Long pulling off like a submission or maybe a late stoppage.
Yeah,
If Cody does start to gas out, but I'm gonna say I'm taking Cody. That's my favorite underdog of the card so far, and I'm gonna say Cody pulls off a knockout here. I have a feeling that UFC is such an interesting sport because things change so quickly. I mean, especially like casual fans, they'll be the first ones to be like, "Oh, he's washed, he's washed, she's
yeah,
washed," and a lot of the casuals, don't remember Cody in his prime
yeah.
and versus Cruz, Dillashaw, that was a whole different
Exactly.
time period of MMA.
Exactly, dude. When
And
you
I would like to see some of these casuals see, a vintage Cody fight because he's super
yeah,
entertaining, bro.
when like 10 of your fights are on the the top 5 ranked guys, what, how can you completely dismantle this guy? He's definitely still got some skills, and he's probably got another 2 years in his body and everything overall. So I think he gets the win tonight and starts to try to press forward, and we'll see what the future has for him after that.
Let's get it, bro. All right. I like that we're on board with a lot of plays. We're gonna have to fade each
We
other here
are,
soon.
dude. I know we are, which is good though. It's good. So that means freaking follow our picks this week, guys.
Yeah, we'll probably have a lot of the same kind of tickets. Next up, we have bro. This is a really tough one to call. I really don't. I'm gonna let you break this one down first, but we have RoboCop, Gregory Rodriguez versus Bruno Ferreira. This is a banger, bro.
This is a banger and a half, dude. Honestly, I mean, you got RoboCop versus the Hulk. I mean, how do you freaking choose, bro? How do you choose, right? So the odds are a little skewed. I was expecting this to be a little bit closer. Gregory Rodriguez at -198. Oliveira at +168. So same thing, dude. I think the value's on the underdog here. He's a little bit younger. He's got the momentum coming on his side. I would like to see him get the win here, but by all means, Greg Rodriguez has again fought higher caliber people. He's been there. He has what it takes, but same idea. He kind of gasses out a little bit at the end. So I think if the Hulk gets caught in the first round, it's probably not going to go his way because I think he might feel a little dazed and feel that the power from Rodriguez, and not be as aggressive as he normally would against somebody that he felt like he was dominating and controlling the ring in. But I think the value's on the underdog here, and I'm taking Bruno, man.
Ah, I hate you for that. I think I like the underdog Bruno too. I feel like this is really like bro, this is really a 50-50 fight, but I have to whoever the underdog is, I gotta go with him. So I'm gonna take Bruno as well. Bro, Rodriguez, I'm gonna say this, man. I feel like Rodriguez, talent wise, is one of the best middleweights in the world. I feel like if Rodriguez puts it all together for one fight, he could beat the champion. Like no
Yeah, he
doubt. Like I
could.
think
He
his
could.
his jiu-jitsu is amazing. His
Yep.
wrestling's not bad. He's
Yeah.
got a ton of power in the hands. The
Yep.
only thing with Rodriguez is his IQ, bro. Like
Yeah.
sometimes during fights, he gets in these firefights and he gets so carried away, and he's and also his he's been cut so many times in fights that his tissue is
Yeah.
real soft on his face. Like he
Scarring
gets
around
cut
the
really
eye and
easy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't want to say he has a glass chin, but he has like glass skin. I don't know how to explain it, but
Yeah.
he
No, that's
he
it, dude.
bleeds.
Just
Gregor Rodriguez bleeds
that
super easy in fights when you tag him.
all that thin tissue, dude.
I think he's got a low IQ. He's so much more talented than Ferreira, but he's got a low IQ. Um, I think Ferreira is gonna knock him out here, bro. I think it's gonna be a 50-50 fight, but I feel like Ferreira might find a knockout here.
I agree, dude. And it's weird because when I looked this up, I thought Bruno was much younger than him. Well, there's only a 1 year age difference because Gregory looks so much older. But Gregory's
Yeah,
34 and Bruno's 33. And I was thinking it was a crazy age difference, but there's really not.
yeah, that is interesting, bro. And I feel like RoboCop's been in so many more wars as well. Like experience wise,
Yeah, he definitely has the.
Rodriguez has the better resume and has fought in better quality fighters. But it seems like whenever RoboCop starts to move up the rankings and really starts to be talked about, like, hey, could this guy get a title shot someday? He seems to work his way out of that. It seems like
Yeah.
every time he starts to creep up, he has a loss that bumps him back down. Like there's just something preventing him from getting to that upper echelon of the middleweight rankings.
Yeah, so maybe there's a mental block, dude. So same thing. Even if he goes in this fight and doesn't feel 100% confident, I think the Hulk gets the win, dude.
Yeah, we're taking the Hulk, especially being a dog, bro.
Hulk smash.
Hey, we got a battle of the nursing home guys, man. If you add together age, experience, and damage, these guys have miles on the tank. I know
Yeah,
Drew
yeah,
Dober's not the oldest guy in the game, but the experience and the damage that he's taken is crazy. He's 28 and 15, and then Michael Johnson, arguably the biggest OG in all of the UFC. Who's got a better resume than Michael Johnson? Not of the wins, but of just the quality of his resume of who he's fought of
yeah,
opponents.
dude. He's fought
Michael
everybody.
Johnson's fought every dude in the
He's
lightweight
fought
rank,
everybody, bro. He's fought everybody, dude.
and
Yeah,
this is a banger fight, bro. Both guys love to stand and trade. Both like wars. I don't know who to pick here, bro. Like this is a tough one. You go ahead and pick first.
All right, dude. So this is a tough one for sure, and the odds reflect it because it's practically even money. Drew Dober's at even, and Michael Johnson's at -120. The only thing is, Drew doesn't have the momentum in his favor right now. He's only won one of his last four fights, and Michael Johnson's on I think a 3 or 4 fight win streak, dude. He just beat Daniel Sahibir, which was I feel like the UFC's kind of been trying to push him and get him to be a highlight guy, and then he fights these older guys and then loses. Like he just lost against Bobby Green last week,
Yeah,
right?
100%, bro. Like Michael Johnson was not supposed to win that fight,
Yeah, he
on
was
paper.
not supposed to win that fight, and he keeps coming back and making wins, dude, against people that he probably shouldn't win. So I'm gonna take in Michael Johnson here. He also has like a 4 inch reach advantage over Drew Dober. So I would say Drew Dober's probably got a little bit better wrestling ability. So if he can keep it close and stay inside the clinch, he does have a chance. But I love Michael Johnson here, dude. Just teeing off, taking the 1-2, staying on the outside of him. Putting Dober up against the ring, maybe get into kind of a dirty boxing clinch, get a punch on the breakout, set it back up in the center, and just keep just picking them apart, dude. Honestly, just kind of putting on a little bit of a boxing clinic. That's what I really see here.
Man, I'm really sorry that you made such a bad pick on this fight, bro. You were doing so good leading up to this.
Oh, this guy. Oh, finally the fade happens.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna have to. You know what? This is where you messed up, Mad Dog. Michael Johnson's on a win streak, right? Who's better at beating their own win streak than Michael Johnson? This is his whole UFC career. Every time he rises up the rankings or rises up in momentum, he loses. Bro, he's so due for a loss. So due.
Oh,
And Drew Dober's due for a
oh,
win. He's been getting knocked out and losing left and right. I'm going to say Michael Johnson starts picking Drew Dober apart in the first round, and then Dober hits him with a bomb, and he's going to knock out Michael Johnson. I'm taking Drew Dober by knockout, and he's going to get a finish bonus here.
man, it's hurt my feelings, bro. It hurt
Drew
my
Dober's
feelings.
so back. And if I will say, if Drew Dober loses, I feel like he might have to retire.
Yeah, I think he's out, dude, after that. But
Because he's
so
taking, both fighters have taken so much damage, but Dober, truthfully, he hasn't really looked good in recent fights.
he hasn't
He's
in the last
like
like
the
3 years.
miles have
He
really
really
had it
hasn't
up.
looked that good. And the same thing, I feel like he like looking over it, he hasn't really fought anybody like too crazy on the ranks either, dude. Honestly, now I will say he's won a couple of good fights in the last like 5 years, but yeah, I just see Michael Johnson, dude, just kind of put on a clinic, man, and keeping the distance, try not to let himself get caught up in the war.
I feel like Michael Johnson does have more paths to victory. He could win by knockout or he could win a decision. If he can keep that distance, like you're saying, and just tag him, fight it, he's going to outpoint Dober. I feel like Dober, literally, his only path to victory is to land a clean shot on Johnson and knock him out. Excuse me.
And he does have
Johnson
the
doesn't
power.
have the best chin, historically, especially the older he's gotten.
Yeah.
When he does get hit good, then he does wobble and I don't want to say he has a glass chin, but Michael Johnson's definitely someone you could put out.
Yeah, for sure. He's only been KO'd 3 times actually.
Wow, that's pretty
Yeah. So
surprising.
Justin JT got him a TKO, which we know that's crazy. Josh Emmett, which is again that's another heavy hands, and then the other one was a little bit more recent against Diego Feria.
Got you. All right, well, you know what? It's gonna be number 4 this weekend, bro. Dober's getting a KO. Mark my words, bro, and that's probably a plus 250, 300.
Yeah, or probably more, dude, for the KO. Let's see if this one will give it to me real quick. I don't. They don't have it up on this app.
It's all good, man. We'll
Yeah, just go the distance of the rounds right now, unfortunately.
yeah. I mean, it's either side you pick on that. It's a pretty close match. So
It's a close match. So I mean, either
won't
way,
really
if
hurt
you're
your
leaning
parlay.
towards one, either way.
There's value on both either side. Whoever
Yeah.
you like, there's value.
Yeah.
Next up, bro, I feel super confident about this one. This is if the odds aren't too crazy, this is getting hammered on parlays. We got Raul Rosas Jr. versus Rob Font. Bro, Rosas Jr. is a lock.
I think he's a lock, bro. 100%, dude. I think this is his kind of gatekeeping moment to get thrown into the ranks, dude, and start really pushing for a contender, dude.
Yeah, Rosas Jr., he's in his early 20s. He's 11-1. He's a nasty submission artist. He's really tall and lanky for the division. Rob Font's been there, done that. He's kind of, I respect Rob Font. He's a gatekeeper for the contenders in the bantamweight division, but he probably won't, you know, stay in the rankings for much longer. He's a veteran. He's getting older. You
Mhm.
have to beat a guy like Rob Font to be respected and to
Yeah,
get those higher caliber fights in the rankings. So this is a big step for Rosas Jr. But I feel like Rosas Jr., if he can clean up his striking a little better and be more of an active fighter, I definitely could see him being in contention in the next 2 years, to possibly get a title shot or at least crack that top five range where he's
yeah.
getting some fights.
Yeah, I think this is kind of experience versus speed, man. Rob Font's 38, Junior's 21, and I think like you just said, dude. I think this if he wins this, everyone's gonna know his name. He's gonna start getting more recognition, and he's gonna get pushed up quickly if he wins this and can keep everything clean. And he's going in the right direction. I feel like there's no cap on his ceiling right now. And Rob Font, he's past his prime and he's going down.
The only thing that Rob Font has the advantage of in this fight is the experience and just the IQ. Sometimes it is hard betting on a young kid, because sometimes like they're uh, especially like younger UFC fighters, sometimes they can be kind of like an arrogant mindset. If Raul is going into the fight thinking, "Oh, I'm fighting this old man. This is gonna be easy money for me." Rob Font will be the first one to humble you. So
Yeah,
as long as
exactly.
Raul has his mind right and is locked in, it's his fight to lose. I'm taking Rosas Jr. by submission here.
I love it, dude. By submission, even he's calling it out.
Yeah, because in my opinion, he's been inactive for quite some time now, and if he really wants to move up the rankings and make a splash, he needs to get some eyes and attention on him. I think he needs to make a statement here. If he gets a decision win, he'll still get better fights, but if he finishes Font easy and gets a big time submission, I think the UFC is going to give him the kind of fight he really wants to have.
Yeah, he's only kind of been fighting once a year, huh? He fought twice last year and
I think
twice.
he pulled out of the last fight he was in. I want to say he was in the doghouse for a while with the UFC.
So it says he won against Vince Morales on March of last year. So it's been a full year since he's fought. So he probably did miss one last
Yeah, I
year.
think he pulled out of a fight, bro. Yeah, he's a dog though, man. So are
Yeah.
you on board with Rosas, right?
Oh, yeah, dude, Rosas Jr. for sure. I do like the submission as well. I just think Rob's going to be able to keep it standing a little bit more than some of the other guys he's fought. But I definitely like Junior overall, dude. I think that's a
What's
great.
the odds money line on
Oh,
Rosas?
sorry. Junior at minus 220, Rob Font at plus 180.
Beautiful. Yep, smacking that in the parlay.
Yeah.
We're saying that to the bank. All right. Ooh, this next one is a banger, bro. This is a tough one to call.
Yeah.
We have Kyle Baraglio versus Rainer de Ritter. De Ritter was on a crazy win streak. He was about to get a title shot, and then he got humbled and lost to Brandon Allen, I believe. And I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it was Brendan Allen. I'm
You're
let
probably
me
right.
fact check that because I hate like I hate sharing misinformation. I want to make sure I'm correct on this.
Yes,
Let
you're
me
right, dude. Brandon Allen. Yeah, TKO corner stoppage. So he must have
Yeah,
had
he
a
was.
higher
I
number, right?
remember that we were talking about that fight back then because I was really heavy on De Ritter, and
Yeah.
he looked like he had a chance in the first round, and then he just really got gassed out. De Ritter
Yep.
cuts a crap load of weight, bro. He's
Yeah.
such a big weight bully, and that's something that weight bullies that happens to them every once in a while, especially as active as him. I think his body just wasn't up to speed with where his mind and spirituality was with that fight. He just
It
he fought. He was so active. He had like 4 fights in like 6 months. I just think everything caught up to him, and I think
yeah.
his body just gave out on him.
I think there's some truth to that. And the people he was fighting, dude, he fought Mershart, he fought Kevin Holland, he fought Bo Nickel, he fought Robert Whitaker. And like you said, I think he just kind of was gassing out, dude, kind of feeling the heat and the pressure from the previous fights. And then Brandon Allen, again, kind of put on a little bit of a boxing clinic then.
Yeah, and Allen is no easy fight, bro. He's
Yeah, that's
always,
no easy fight.
been in contention the last couple of years. He's one of those fighters too that kind of reminds me. He's like a higher quality of like the RoboCop. Like he works his way up the rankings. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
Aaron Allen might get a title shot, and then he loses, and then goes down a couple of steps. But he's been kind of that guy in the rankings where it's like he's in title contention, and then he loses.
Yeah. And now for Borreo, I like his entire camp, dude, because he's with the fighting nerds. I think those guys really do really good jobs getting their fighters prepped and ready and like coming up with good solid game plans. But he basically fights the decision because he's not necessarily fighting to win. You know, like he's not
He
fighting to
fights
look for
not
a
to
knockout.
lose.
He fights not to lose, exactly. So he kind of fights defensively, even though obviously he's winning offensively. But so this is a kind of a tough one. So I think if they stay standing, I think Barreo's got the chance here to go to decision. But if they get into kind of a dirty fight, dude, RDR could pull off a submission. So I think for me personally, I'm gonna take Barrero by decision and or looking for RDR to look for a submission. I think those are the best path to victories for either of those guys, and that's kind of how I see that fight going. But the odds are Barrero at minus 260 and RDR at plus 215.
Wow. So, in my opinion, the value is on De Ritter.
For sure.
I feel like if you're going to take De Ritter submission, he's a nasty jiu-jitsu specialist.
Yeah.
He's also nasty with the knees. I mean, I could see
Yeah.
him, tie clinching Baraglio and then throwing a knee up the middle and maybe putting it on his chin. But
That's how we got
Baraglio
Bo
has
Nickel.
more
That's how
paths
we
to
got Bo
victory here.
Nickel, dude. He caught Bo Nickel with the knee and freaking knocked him out. He was like,
Facts. And Baraglio lost to Imavov, who is most likely the next in line for the title shot in that
yeah,
division. Until then, Baraglio is on a really high win streak,
yeah,
and I think that's also why he's had the same style where he's so defensive because he was getting away with it, and he was either knocking people out or winning decisions. And Imavov is, he's probably one of the toughest fighters in the
yeah,
division to beat by decision because his output is so high. I mean,
yeah.
he
Exactly.
touches you up all fight and stays he stays moving. I mean, Imavov even beat Adesanya standing up, in a striking match and
Yep.
beat him up the whole fight. So,
Yeah.
Baraglio, he had so much momentum. I don't think that last fight knocked his confidence much either,
No, I don't
and
think so.
I
I just
also
think
don't
he's
think
been
he's
more of
cutting
a
as much
threat.
weight as De Ritter. So in this fight, I think even though the odds are pretty crazy here, I'm gonna take Braulio here too. I don't think I'm gonna play it on a parlay, but I like him to win this fight.
I kind of lean towards him, but I think his path to victory is decision, dude. Let's be honest. So I think if you really wanted to take him, and that's probably your best, that's your bigger value pick right there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. If that way, you could get some plus money out of it too.
Yeah. Or put this on your last leg of the parlay and hedge it as needed.
Yeah, yeah. I personally, I think I'm gonna pass on that one, but we'll see what. I would really like to see weigh-ins here because De Ritter, like I said earlier, he's kind of like an Alex Pereira in terms of just cutting an insane amount of.
Wait, yeah.
All UFC fighters are weight bullies, but there's like levels to cuts. I mean, there's guys that cut like 10, 20,
Yeah.
25 pounds, and then there's guys like Patty the Batty and Pereira who are cutting
Like
like
35.
50 plus pounds.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, that's nuts, dude. I'm telling you, that's nuts.
Insane. All right, we finally made it to the main event. We got two OGs in the game, two Hall of Famers,
Yep.
both former champions. We
Yep.
got the current BMF title holder in Max Holloway versus Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Going to be absolute fireworks, bro.
This
And I
this
have a
will
pretty
be
strong
dude.
opinion.
This is a crazy fight, bro. Who do you think's gonna leave as the baddest motherfucker? Who do you think's gonna leave with that BMF belt, bro?
Do you want me to give my pick?
Yeah, let's hear it, dude. I'll let you go first.
Max Holloway is going to win this fight.
Yeah, baby, let's go. We're on almost all the cards together, dude. I freaking love it, dude.
I think Max Holloway, I think he moved weight classes at the perfect time. He's still, even though he has a really high UFC miles in the tank, he's
Yeah.
only what, like 33 years old, maybe 34 max. Yeah, that's funny, Max Holloway. But anyways, I just feel like he moved up a weight class at the perfect time. He's still, even though he's towards the end of his prime, he's still in his prime. And I think that Max, arguably on any given night could win the lightweight title right now.
Yeah, Matt. Max is
Bro,
third.
it's been a BMF his whole career, and arguably the best jiu-jitsu specialist in all of the UFC. He's got the most submissions in UFC history.
Yeah,
The 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 thing I'm looking at in this fight that separates the two is Charles going to be able to get a takedown on Holloway? I think
that's
Holloway's footwork is just too good here. And you could
that's
argue Oliveira beat Holloway in the past. That was like 10 years ago, bro.
yeah.
I don't think it's fair to compare their last fight to
You
now at all.
you can't. You cannot, dude. I like I said, I didn't even realize these guys fought that long ago. I completely forgot about that fight. And then he looks so young too. It's crazy. And again, if I would say even 5 years ago, I would have said Oliveira because I think Max was hit a little bit of a slump there. So I don't know. Maybe there was drama at home or he just wasn't feeling good. But Max, the last 3 years, dude, has just been on fire, bro. And how can you dog him right now? Like you said, I think the weight is better for him. He's not going to feel so aggressive or tired out getting the weight cut. I just Max he's got good stand up, or as you say he's got the good ability to keep from going to the ground. So he's gonna be able to sprawl and keep the distance. And of course, I mean obviously his standing in boxing is much better than Oliveira's. Now, if Oliveira is able to take him to the ground, anything could happen. A submission, especially on like a weird scramble, all of a sudden he's on his back or gets his neck. But Max isn't going to shoot. Max isn't going to try to take him down at all. He wants to stay standing. So if Oliveira even falls down, I don't even see Max like jumping on him to go for a ground and pound. He's going to be like, stand back up. Get back in the middle of the ring. Let's fight again, bro. So I think by all means, dude, Max is going to win here. And again, Oliveira could come out with a submission or something crazy, but I think Max at minus 220, Oliveira's at plus 180.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And you know what makes both of these guys BMFs because I respect them both so much? How many other guys have beaten both Dustin and Justin? I
Yeah,
mean,
that's fair,
to have
dude.
Gaethje and Poirier on your resume, and beating them both is just, that's very high respect right there because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of people who are on that resume of beating both those guys. The only other guy I can think of at the top of my head is Habib. So,
Yeah.
um, let me think. Did Topuria never fought Gaethje yet?
No, they didn't fight. Yeah, and Tuporia beat both of these guys too, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing these guys have in common is Topuria beat Holloway and Oliveira. And the thing about Max too is him being on his win streak is Max only loses to guys who have the belt. I mean, he lost
Yep.
to Topuria and he lost to Volk twice. And I
Yeah.
mean, those are
Exactly.
losing to
It-
those guys, there's no shame at all in that.
yeah.
Oliveira, I don't think there's shame in his losses, but I just feel like the way Oliveira lost in his fights, like, when he got knocked out by Topuria, I just felt like that really, like, that was a life changing knockout. That
Yeah.
was such a bad knockout. Um, Oliveira's just, he's been in more, I just feel like Oliveira's taken a lot more damage than Holloway, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree, dude, for sure, bro. Because again, really, dude, I'm telling you, yeah, like you said, man, he's been on a crazy freaking win streak, and he lost the Volkanovski 3 times, and then
Bad on that, said twice.
Topuria. That's it, dude. In the last like 5 years, man. And then
Yeah.
Oliveira is. I feel like he kind of like wins two, loses one, wins one, loses one, wins two, loses one. So he was on a
Who was
little bit.
Oliveira's last win? Was that Gamrot? Was that
He
the
was on a
Gamrot?
duel for a while. Yeah. So he beat Gamrot. He lost to Topera. He beat Chandler in decision. He lost again Armin Suzuki. He got TKO against win against Durish, and then he lost against Islam before that. And then
His wins he's getting are against like guys who like to wrestle and grapple. So
yeah,
Max isn't gonna entertain that. The only way if you're taking Dubronx here, you have to take him by submission. And I don't even think he's gonna land a takedown on Max. I will say Dubronx does have a lot of power in his hands. This is what's gonna happen if Dubronx wins. He's going to land a clean shot on Holloway. Holloway's going to be slightly wobbled, and then Oliveira's going to just jump on him, whether he hawks the guillotine or he jumps on his back and tries choking him out, a
yeah,
rear naked choke. But the only way he gets Max is if he like stuns Max just long enough to get a hold of his
get a
neck.
hold of him.
Other than that, Max's footwork is too crazy. It's too high level. Max has 2 paths to victory. Probably not a knockout, but it's a possibility. But really high probability Max gets a decision win here.
Yeah, I think that's the ticket, dude. Because even both of Oliveira's fights against Justin and Dustin, he both won by submission. But these guys will fight and jump on you and start trying to go for the ground and pound. And I don't want to say they get overzealous, but they look for the kill, right? Where I think Max IQ is so intelligent, he knows he does not belong on the ground with Oliveira, and I think that's what's
Max
going
doesn't
to.
care about getting the knockout or not. I mean, Max, he
Yeah,
doesn't fight to lose, but Max has one of the highest IQs in all of the
yeah,
UFC. I think
and I think
he
that's going to
knows
make the difference here.
and he knows that whether he wins by decision or not, if he beats Oliveira, I mean, that puts him immediately in title contention. And
Yeah.
he's already in contention right now. But to add that, now he's got an even better case, and he's been
Who,
pretty active too.
who else would it be? Who else would he fight?
Here's what I'm thinking. The guys, and again, this is just the top of my head who I'm thinking. So to Poirier, they're trying to, he's stepped away for a little while. He's trying to
Yeah.
figure some stuff out. So let's say right now it's going to be Sarukian versus Gaethje. There's Patty right there, so maybe Holloway fights Patty next.
That would be a crazy fight, bro. Actually, that would be a
That'd probably
fun
be the
fight.
next one, and then the winner gets the next title shot.
That would be crazy. That would be a good fight, actually. That'd be crazy. But now seeing Patty kind of get beat up by Gaethje this last fight, dude, that doesn't look too good for him going in with Holloway either, though. Because now I feel like
Yeah,
he's got
100%. And you know
handle.
what? No offense to Gaethje, but Holloway has a lot higher IQ than Gaethje does, and
Yeah.
the fact that Patty did not shoot against Gaethje, he would have had a lot higher chance of taking Gaethje down than Holloway. Holloway's tough to get a hold of to take him down.
And that's what saved Gaethje, dude, was all that sprawling constantly. He would just sprawl and just be beating the shit out of him. Get up, box correctly, go for the sprawl, and then beat him up again on the ground. I mean, he basically was just hitting him in the side of the head nonstop, dude, because he kept shooting and just wouldn't really do anything. But I think that's the difference where Max isn't going to lay there on top of you and just keep pummeling you. He's just going to let you stand back up and keep giving you the 1-2.
Yeah, Max is gonna stick and move the whole fight, as he should
Yeah.
too. That's what he does.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Let's give out some nasty parlays here, man. I got some locks.
All right, so look, I got my parlay up already. Let me pull it back up. Bam. All right. So for my one parlay, I'm gonna take that crazy name, bro. Naima Jargle versus, I think you killed it last time. Tumen DeBurl at -1. So I'm just gonna parlay this. Naima Jargle, Rosas Jr. and Rafael Tobias, and that's at +270.
Okay, that's parlay right there.
That's my parlay right there.
That's
And then
fire. I like that.
I'll put my martingale up. My martingale is going to be similar to Neymar, but then I'm going to take Alberto Montez and Michael Johnson for my third last leg.
Okay. I liked everything except Michael Johnson, obviously.
I know you did. As soon as you said it, I was like, damn it. That's like the only fight we disagreed on, too, unfortunately. But
Yeah, that's all good. All right, so my lock parlay, like this is like heavy unit parlay for me. Max Holloway with Raul Rosas Jr. I know that's not real pretty, but that should get you around close to even money. It's basically like playing a probable blackjack hand.
dude, that's +112, bro. That's good. I would take that, dude. I love that all
Just
day.
a nice little two-legger, both in the main event, so you can enjoy the early prelims. And then, so I would put like, for me personally, like betting, let's say I put like 5 units on that. Like that's a heavy one for me. Now for a crazy parlay,
All
yeah, I
right,
got a banger for you,
hang
bro.
on. I'll do
I'm
it
gonna say a
again.
bunch of names here.
I'll put it up for two units on this.
Yeah, feel free to put whatever you want on there because I want like for our plays that we're tracking throughout the year, I want it to be ones more so that we mutually like agree on. So
Yeah, that's
I'd
what I've been
like
trying to do. I've just been trying to just get really good, solid picks for this, so we can just keep promoting. And we're up. I think we're up 4 unit. Yeah, 4 units, dude, since we started the podcast. So I can't
beautiful.
complain, dude. We're going in the right direction. All right,
Let's
so
get it.
give me one crazy parlay, and we'll just do it for less.
Okay. Niam Jurgal,
Yeah, baby.
leg one.
Yep.
Montez, leg two.
Yep.
Let's see here. Roses,
Yep.
Baraglio,
Yep.
Max Holloway.
All right, let's do it. That's a 5-legger too. This guy plus 665.
And let's take that to the bank.
So you want to do a
I was
quarter?
gonna put some underdogs on there, but I was like, I mean, I was really tempted to put Bruno on there too, because that would have hopped it to plus 1200.
I was thinking you were going to too, bro.
I'm just I can't fade Rodriguez, bro. Like I'm picking Bruno and I'm not betting Rodriguez, but like I'm a fan of his fighting style, and I it's I just I don't feel confident enough to probably put my money on that fight, but maybe the night of I might slide Bruno on there too.
So you want to do this for like a quarter or a half unit?
Probably let's do a quarter unit for that plus
All right,
600.
bam.
So
So we
yeah,
got
I feel pretty comfortable with that one. I was gonna put Luke Fernandez on that too, but with him being so green and new, I want to see if he can beat Bellato first before I start like betting on his fights.
yeah, I agree, dude. All
But I
right,
do
cool.
like Luke Fernandez a lot for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I think there's some good. That's some great odds, actually, dude. Honestly. So we got
And
a
then maybe on fight night maybe we can throw some props in because I mean another way to bet, and me and Mad Dog do this too, is if there's a fighter that we like a lot or feel like they're a lock, sometimes you can get really good odds on betting one fight and taking a prop versus betting multiple fighters in a parlay. Like for
yeah, for
example,
sure.
if like
What was your plus 900 3 weeks ago?
um someone by decision. I can't think of who it was at the top of my head, but someone by decision. But like in this one, like let's say some of the ones we really liked, like Baraglio by decision. That's something I would definitely play with you as a single bet. That'll get you plus money.
Yeah,
Rosas Jr. by sub will get you plus money.
yeah.
Dober by knockout. Um,
I think Alberto Montez by sub, Naima Jarl by sub. I think those are some good ones. That's what I would say, dude. I like those for sure.
yeah. I like Cody Garbrandt as a dog too. I feel like is
Yeah, I
Cody
think
a dog
Cody.
or no?
Yeah, he is a dog. I like Cody for sure at plus 125. I think he's a live dog, dude. Honestly.
Yeah, I was considering putting him on there too. If I would have added him and that Bruno on there, that would have been like a plus 2500.
All right, let's do this. Let's do another quarter unit on our two favorite underdogs because we both like them, dude. We both agree. So
Bruno and Cody.
yeah,
Okay, let's do it. What's that? That's probably what like plus 500.
Cody Garbrandt and Bruno. Yeah, plus 516. So I'll do a quarter unit on that too. And
Yeah, like
that keeps
that
it
way
separate from
we
the
don't
other
hit.
category.
That's what that's just and if we hit, that'll be good plus money right there.
That's just freaking money on top, dude. Honestly, to basically bet a quarter unit and get a unit back, that's legit. You can't argue with that.
Sweet. All right, well, dude, honestly, I feel pretty good about this card, man.
I
Like,
do.
would I be mad if Bronx upset Holloway or one of these other guys got upset that we feel confident about? No, I mean I do like Bronx a lot, and I'd be
Yeah.
super sad losing my money. But I think as us being experienced bettors and watching the UFC, not as much as we feel like stuff is a lock or we're confident about something, nothing in the UFC surprises us. I mean, weight cuts, one nice shot on the temple, eye pokes. Dude, like there's just so many factors. And I think that's what makes the UFC arguably the most exciting sport there is because of the unknown to the fights. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so many things that factor into fight night alone. You
Yeah.
might
I
have a guy who's just got bad mental health, bro. You might have a guy that's just like doubting himself internally. Like the mentality and the physical things that these fighters go through is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, once those ring doors close, dude, it's literally up to the fighters. Like, there's no external factors, there's no other stuff. You're not playing in the snow, you're not playing in the rain. Like, it's literally you versus the dude standing in front of you, right? So that's why I
It's
love it
you,
so much,
small
dude.
gloves in your underwear.
Yeah, exactly, bro, exactly. Like, there's no deflate gate. Like, there's literally no other aspects that you can really cheat or do anything, right? But like you said, unfortunately, stuff happens. You get caught. You have scar tissue that maybe happened earlier in training camp, and now all of a sudden you got busted up, and the doctor comes in and stops it because you can't freaking see. I mean, there's factors that are just out of the fighter's control, out of our control. But this is what I would say: if me and Lunch Money are both on the same picks, there's like an 85% chance that pick is hitting, and we literally only had one fight that we disagreed with basically this whole card. So I think we're gonna slam it this week, dude. I think this is our week, man. I think we can hit
Dude,
these
I
with
agree because
these
we're
rounds.
pretty honest. Like even when we give
Yep.
picks, I mean, we're very honest. But when we give our picks, like on other cards, we'll tell you if we like the card or not too. Like there's
Yeah.
cards like that Strickland card. And
Yep.
even the Moreno card, we're like, man, there's not the best fights on here.
Yeah.
Like the main event's cool, but I don't feel crazy about this card. But this one, it's not the best. This is probably one of the better card, probably first or second best card of the year. This is heating up, and do feel pretty confident about some of these picks we have.
Yeah. I feel
Like
super.
Rosas Jr. and Holloway, I feel really good about, bro.
Yeah, I was afraid we are gonna be on opposite sides on some of these, dude. But I feel super confident with these picks, dude. If we're both on the same side, there's a high percentage chance of these hits. I feel like the only ones that ever really miss is when we're on the opposite side, dude. And then it's torn or something crazy happens.
Yeah, and it's like a box of chocolates. But those are our picks this week. Tail us, fade us, whatever you want to do. Make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram. We have a YouTube channel that we post these on as well. And if you know anybody that likes listening to the podcast or sports bets or watches UFC, please refer us and have them listen to us and hear our takes and compare and contrast. See if you feel the same way or see if you don't. If we suck or if we're good, you guys let us know what you think.
Like, share, follow, and comment. That's what we ask people.
I don't even care if you don't like us, man. Any attention is good attention for us. We don't
Yeah,
care.
100%. You
We're
can
just
hate on me
boys
all.
having a good time watching and betting sports like so many other people in America and around the world.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, we're just giving out better picks than others. That's all I'm saying.
100%, bro. We've been in the game a long time. But all right, guys, that's mic'd up and misinformed. We out of here. Boom.
Yep. Boom.